we have officially entered the era of dragon fighting in HBO's House of the Dragon. The red dragon and the gold, aka the Dance of Dragons, aka dragon on dragon crime, literally fighting fire with fire, and it is fucking amazing. Now, previously in Game of Thrones, we had some awesome moments with dragons. We had Drogon rescuing Dany from certain death. We had Dany flaming the slaver envoy. We had the Lannister army getting absolutely cooked in the first battle of Westeros. And one of my personal favorites, old ballless gossip queen Varys, getting the Dracarys treatment.
Lord Varys, I, Daenerys of House Targaryen, first of my name, breaker of chains and mother of dragons, sentence you to die. Dracarys.
We also had some very stupid moments with dragons. We had Dany flaming the Tyrells, even though they've always been Targaryen loyalists. We had Bronn sniping a 200-foot dragon with a single shot with the Scorpion. And of course, the series ruiner, Dany going Mad Queen for no reason. And then there are some very stupid moments with dragons that are very awesome. Like the Night King killing and then resurrecting Viserion into an ice dragon. Never made any sense considering no dragons ever fly over the wall, but nonetheless, that blue eyeball opening was phenomenal. And now House of the Dragon, in just a season and a half, has had their own epic dragon moments. From the Crab King battle, to Laena Velaryon flaming herself in childbirth, to Aemon starting the Targaryen Civil War, and then most notably, episode 4, The Dance of Dragons, where we see Rhaenys and Meleys go flame to flame with Sunfire and Vhagar in one of the most beautiful kamikaze missions in entertainment history. Up there with Omaha Beach and Saving Private Ryan, the end of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, just going out in a blaze of glory. Now, to understand just how gangster Rhaenys was, you have to understand the full scope of what she was doing and what she was facing. Just take a look at the tail of the tape. At 150 meters long, Vhagar is the second largest dragon to ever live. According to that infamous Game of Thrones dragon chart, you can see that Meleys is a fraction of the size of Vhagar. And while she might have had an advantage over the older and slower Vhagar, there was no way she could defeat the Queen of Dragons and Sunfire at the same time. From Jump Street, Rhaenys knew this was the type of battle you don't come home from. She spoke to her husband Corlys about making things right with his bastard kids. She gets her affairs in orders before flying off into battle for Rhaenyra. Only doing it for Rhaenyra after she made every last effort to keep the peace, almost like she was willing to sacrifice herself for Team Black after her queen risked it all to avoid war. And then she suits up with old girl one last time, knowing that if Team Black pushes the button and launches the nukes, so will Team Green. She hops on Meleys, originally owned by Alyssa Targaryen. By the way, it's ridiculous when George R.R. Martin drops in a normal name like Alyssa. Alyssa's the girl I had a crush on in 8th grade, George, not a dragon rider. Anyway, Alyssa originally wanted to ride Balerion, the Drakdad, the largest dragon ever, but she opted for a faster, swifter, more agile dragon in Meleys. And then after Alyssa died, Rhaenys claimed her and rode her for nearly 50 years before she strapped in for good, knowing she was going down in flames, literally and figuratively. Truly a beautiful moment when Rhaenys straps in that suicide belt and she knows they're not going to make it home, and Meleys looks over her shoulder like, "It was an honor to serve you, your grace. Now let's go out like a couple of real motherfucking Targaryens." And then you remember that Vhagar was her daughter's dragon. Laena's dragon has to flame her original owner's mother. Rhaenys has lost all of her children, and now her dragon family has turned on her. The queen who never was is the queen who should have been, and her and her dragon proved it at Rook's Rest. Now, just like most things in the world of Double R in his books, is it perfectly written? Does it perfectly translate to TV? Not exactly. Like, it doesn't make sense that everybody acts like Meleys is some battle-hardened dragon with experience at war. There's been 80 years of peace, and unless the reader and the viewer are going to assume that she fought alongside Daemon and Caraxes and Dragonstone, there's no evidence to suggest that Meleys was a battle-tested dragon. Was there any way that Rhaenys could have known that Vhagar was lying in wait? By the way, I find it a little bit silly that they hide a flying dinosaur in the grass with nobody knowing. And then in the end, if Rhaenys and Meleys choose to fly around one last time knowing it was a suicide mission, they gotta get a few more licks in on Vhagar, or maybe save some more people on Team Black, light up Criston Cole's army. The way it played out, she turned around for absolutely nothing. She ate the dragon and his king. She could have gone home, lived to fight another day. She did enough damage for one battle. Easily could have gone back to Dragonstone, planned to fight again. Instead, she turns around and just immediately gets eaten by Vhagar, truly for no good reason. But who cares? It was awesome. It was emotional. It was regal. It was a distinguished and honorable death for the most distinguished and honorable character in the series. minus that one time she killed hundreds, if not thousands of innocent people. And it made for amazing entertainment, even if not every little perfect thing makes sense. I'm sorry that the battle of the triple dragons in the sky was not the most logical thing you've ever watched on TV. It was majestic, it was gory, it was meaningful and impactful, and it was visual stunning, and that is when Game of Thrones and House of Dragon is at its best.